The Ford Motor Company has announced a $100 million upgrade to its production facilities in Victoria, which will guarantee manufacturing of the Ford Falcon and Territory models there for at least the next 4 years. The federal government is giving $34 million to the project, while additional support is also coming from the Victorian government. The ABC's Ben Knight joins me now from the Ford factory in Geelong. So Ben, what does this mean for the future of Ford manufacturing in Australia?
Well, Nicole, in some senses it's good news, but in some senses it's no news. What this will enable Ford to do is to, as you've said, keep making its Falcon and its Territory models here in Australia. But it will only be able to continue doing that until the end of the model's life cycle, which is around 4 years. Around about 2016, around 2017 is when those models will reach the end of their life cycle. So this money, it's a joint investment. It's going to go towards efficiencies and improving those models to make them more attractive, because Ford had a disastrous year of sales with its flagship Falcon last year. Sales dropped by more than a third. So it will keep those going for another 4 years, but the question that hasn't been answered is what happens to Ford and local manufacturing in Australia once those two models are finished.
So what are you hearing, Ben? What's the feeling on the ground there? What indeed will happen next?
Well, what is happening now is that Ford is trying to come up with a strategy to enable it to keep making cars here in Australia. And that's not an easy thing to do. The high dollar is really hitting local car makers hard, all of them. Not only that, you have other conditions that are going on around the world, which means that Australian cars are not so popular with the Australian buying public. People are looking for smaller cars. Now, you also have the two major car manufacturers in the United States, which are General Motors, which of course owns Holden, and also Ford. They have a strategy for the future which says that there will be one model around the world. Now, that doesn't look good for what is essentially a small country, Australia, just 22 million people, having its own version, its own model of a Ford. That doesn't fit in with the bigger plan. So at the moment, as I say, there is no answer to that question. No one knows what will happen and whether Ford will still be making cars come 2017 or come the end of the decade.
Ben Knight in Geelong, thank you.